Something is shifting in northern Nigeria, and it is not loud, it is not sudden. Is the North officially done with the current administration? By the end of this video, you will understand a plan most Nigerians haven't even heard of yet. A plan working quietly behind the scenes to change the entire 2027 race. Let's start with the part nobody is talking about. It starts with money, or the lack of it. Fuel prices have climbed steadily since subsidy removal. In parts of the north, transport costs alone have eaten into what families used to spend on food for a week. Small businesses, the ones that survive on thin margins, are the first to feel it. A grain seller in Kano, a tailor in Sokoto, a transporter in Kaduna. These aren't abstract numbers. These are the people who show up in your comment section every week telling you things aren't improving. And when the people closest to a government start feeling fortress from its promises, loyalty doesn't disappear overnight. It erodes quietly, region by region. That erosion is the first crack, but it is far from the only one. Because while the economy strains at home, something unusual is happening in the political space. A southern candidate and a northern candidate, once rivals, are being spoken of in the same breath.
I think our ticket with Peter Obi is already talking to the young people. In fact, they are happy now. They are well mobilized as far as I can remember. The young men and women, not only of Kwankwaso and obedience across the country, almost everybody, all the young men and women in this country are praying for this ticket. And it is on the ground now. We are working around the clock, talking to them on phone, on social media, visiting them, having meetings, and so on and so forth. And what I've seen, I am satisfied that the young men and women are very much convinced that this is the way out of the insecurity, out of the economic crisis that we're in now, and of course, other issues that have to do with government and even politics itself. So I am confident and comfortable that the young men and women will come out en masse to vote for NDC during the next election.
Kwankwaso didn't just respond to criticism of Peter Obi. He issued something closer to a warning. Public anger today, he said, is stronger than it was before 2015, the year an incumbent president lost the first time in Nigeria's history, and an Obi Kwankwaso ticket, in his words, may be the only one realistic enough to beat Tinubu.
You spoke for this president, this government, correct? Your party, yes. And I've spoken back to back for two presidents, yes, and I won. So I don't have a losing record. But I don't know whether you will win in the argument that you have laid. You boasted about performance. You boasted about delivery. You have said what would you tell the Nigerian people if you are asked to speak again for them? Everybody in the world have attested. Can you boldly say to the Nigerian people that all of the things that you have said, and Nigerians not all of it, all of it now? To be honest, nobody can say all of it. Can you boldly tell Nigerians to vote this government and this party again? But we have won in Ekiti now. We told them to vote. They voted. FCT they voted. Atiku, we won. Atiku is going to be on the ballot. We won. Adebayo is going to be on the ballot. But we won already. What gives you the assurance that you can? I'm looking around between you and me. Where will Obi's votes come? I can't say it. Where will Atiku from where you are sitting? No, where will it come? Many Nigerians probably will. I don't see where it will come. What about Atiku? You are not giving me time to analyze. Atiku is a nightmare, isn't it? For you? Atiku, nightmare who? Look, listen, I want to make a profound statement as a closing statement. Not out of arrogance, not out of overconfidence, but out of pure demographic calculations. The 2027 election is a coronation, not an election. But not, I repeat, don't take me out of context, out of pure demographic calculations. Because you guys want to rig it, you see yourself. No, I'm asking.
Not everyone agrees. Festus Keyamo went further than most, saying Obi lies like a fish drinking water and calling 2027 a coronation, not an election. Just imagine a coronation.
The Peter Obi that was governor of Anambra State is not the Peter Obi of today. Because the Peter Obi of Anambra was one who said, as a matter of respect to the memory of Ojukwu, he will not ever abandon Abga. But before once the tenure ended, Obi became a political warrior, and he immediately found alliance with perhaps the kind of people Ojukwu will never have related with when he became a running mate to Atiku Abubakar. And I looked at him, and I've said this several times. You look at his lifestyle to be able to project what he would do if he were to become president, he will not be anyway, God willing. Obi is a trader. Traders have short-term calculation. They are not into long-term projection. They are not wired to think of what situation will be in the long run.
Adams Oshiomhole added his own attack, calling Obi a trader with no long-term vision and predicting he would be the easiest candidate to debate. Here's what is worth sitting with. Why attack this hard, this early, against a man they keep calling no real threat? Because you don't spend this much energy fighting a ghost. Now, some of the loudest voices in these stories aren't politicians at all. Traditional rulers in the north rarely comment directly on federal politics. It's simply not their tradition. But this year, that silence has started to feel different. Less like neutrality and more like withheld judgment. And they are not the only one quiet institution growing
You
louder.
asked me, how did I see the face of
The president in reaction.
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not.
Many Nigerians have become accustomed to polite meetings between religious leaders and political leaders.
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message.
Catholic bishops met the president directly and told him the nation is bleeding. He told them it isn't, that the economy has improved.
And when you hear justifications and excuses like this from leadership, that it means that there is no plan or there is no thought as to how to get to understanding the issues and how to get Nigerians out of this terrible situation we find ourselves. Talking about numbers, I don't know how any government is able to plan without data. And so what we have is estimations and vibes. How it's feeling. It's almost like how you go and check, let me see the forecast. You have no critical data to analyze and dimension the real issues.
It is shocking that you yourself that are suffering the biting economic pangs and the conditions in this country, that more people have had to ask you for money and more people have had to depend on you because you're in government. Can't you see that it is hypocritical? Because you must not be seen to come outside to say things are not well when you deeply know that things are well. So it's a daunting job for me this morning to respond to the hypocrisy. My practical response will be, dear APC, what changed? Cardinal Onyeka was a hero in 2014. Why is he not an hero today? Is it because of the mandate? And whose mandate should Cardinal Onyeka speak for? Mandate of man or mandate of God and conscience? That's a question for you.
When APC figures attacked the cardinal for speaking out, journalists like Rufai Oseni, Dr. Abati, and others pushed back hard, reminding the public that this same church was praised for criticizing Goodluck Ebele Jonathan back in 2014. Same institution, same tone, different administration, suddenly a problem. That contradiction is what turned a religious disagreement into something closer to a moral referendum on this government. Now, here's the part nobody saw coming. While INEC was finalizing its tentative 2027 candidates list, a separate group was organizing quietly behind the scenes. They call themselves the G100. Their goal isn't to promote one particular candidate. It's bigger than that. It is to convince the entire opposition to unite behind a single consensus candidate. Instead of splitting votes across Atiku, Obi Kwankwaso, Amechi and Showore, the way they always have. Salihu Lukman, a former vice chairman of the APC itself, is one of the most prominent signatories. The coalition has public reach out to Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, David Mark, Sheyi Makinde, Rotimi Amechi, Rabi Kwankwaso, and Donald Duke, urging all of them to set aside personal ambition for a united front. Nigeria has seen something like this before. Decades ago, a coalition called the G34 formed with a similar goal, and it eventually became the party that ended almost 30 years of military and single-party rule, the PDP. Well, history doesn't repeat exactly, but it does rhyme. And right now, while one major opposition party can't even agree on which faction is legitimate, this new coalition is attempting the one thing the opposition has never successfully done in the Fourth Republic: unite behind one name. So here's the real question hanging over all of this. Can a coalition of 100 ambitious, powerful Nigerians actually hold together for 2 more years? Or does it collapse the way every past attempt at opposition unity has, under the weight of personal ambition? Because that is the pattern that has haunted Nigerian opposition politics for a generation. Everyone agrees the ruling party should be beaten. Almost nobody agrees on who should lead the fight. So where does that leave us? The North is economically strained. The church isn't backing down. Traditional rulers are watching closely. And now, 100 prominent Nigerians are trying to do what no opposition coalition has managed in over a decade. Whether the G100 becomes the movement that finally ends the APC grips on power, or just another coalition that dissolves under its own ambition, that part hasn't been written yet. If you want to see how this same tension between truth and power played out with the cardinal and the presidency, Go watch my Tinubu camp can't sleep video. It connects directly to everything in this one. And before you go watch that video, let me ask you something. Do you think the North moves to the opposition in 2027, or does this administration hold the region? Like this video and subscribe for more breakdowns like this.